My name is Anna Brewer, and I live in Vallejo, California.
When do you feel most Jewish?
I feel Jewish most days. I feel most Jewish on the Sabbath, Friday nights, lighting the candles.
So you grew up in a Jewish environment?
Not exactly. My mother was raised in a very rigid and strict household, and she had me when she was 19, and we didn't really practice much Judaism in the home. We did celebrate Hanukkah, and we went to Grandma's house for Passover every year without fail. But most of my Jewish education, and there really wasn't very much of it, came from my grandmother. So when we went to go visit her, it wasn't until I was long gone from home and my mother was in her 60s that she found her way back to the temple. So she is now again a practicing Jew, but from her 20s to her 60s, not so much.
You always had a mitzvah on your door?
Yeah, so some things were there, but I was in my 30s before I ever went to a temple. The generation that my mom grew up in, only her brother went to Hebrew school. The girls did not.
So what generation did your grandmother come from?
Well, both my grandparents, my grandmother and my grandfather, were both first generation born American. They were born in the 20s.
Judaism was always in their roots?
They grew up in Orthodox households. And my understanding, what I was told, was that my grandparents kept kosher until their kids were about teenagers. And then they decided that they wanted to do the whole Chinese food on Christmas tradition. And so they gave up being kosher at that time. But my grandmother's sisters did not. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it because I always got to pick whether we were going to have dairy or meat for lunch. And of course it had to be dairy because they made the most delicious herring sandwiches that I ever had. The herring and tomato sauce is a very Jewish thing. The memories are very Passover, childhood memories from Passover are the most cherished memories I have. The food, the family, the fun, you know, it was just a great time.
Did you take that with you to your own family?
Well, I don't have any kids of my own, and I have yet to host a Seder dinner myself. I keep trying, but you know, I'm still hoping. I've got Grandma's china, the same china that she served Passover dinner on.
So today when you look at yourself, do you look at yourself as a Jew that has like a Christmas tree and Hanukkah? Or?
Sometimes. We did grow up with a Christmas tree. Christmas was always Santa Claus and family time. It never had any religious connotations for us. My stepfather was raised in a Christian household with a Christmas holiday. And then my father actually converted to Judaism in order to marry my mother. So he too grew up with Christmas and Christmas tree and that kind of stuff. So as a kid growing up, we had the menorah on one side and the Christmas tree on the other. And we did celebrate both in a secular way, not in a religious way. And I do have a Christmas tree and I have put it up. And this year I had no desire. I didn't need it. I just felt like I had my celebration and I was done. So I don't know what next year will bring. My husband is not Jewish, and he doesn't really seem to care whether we celebrate holidays or not. So I don't know. I don't know what the Christmas tree in my future, if it's in my future or not yet.
Do you feel that your husband not being Jewish makes any difference to you?
It would be nice to share. He doesn't go to service with me. He doesn't light candles with me. He doesn't, you know, he's not interested in learning what it is to be a Jew, but he's totally fine with me going and doing my thing. So I feel like I have the space that I need, and I feel like I have the respect that I need, that I think he's a latent Jew. So it would be nice to have a partner that I could do more active participation with, but he supports me, so I can't complain about that. You know, he doesn't hinder me in any way, and I don't feel judged. I get nervous in public sometimes, you know, because there's a lot of anti-Semitism and a lot of racism, especially in Vallejo. There's also been times when meeting new people, I mentioned that I'm Jewish, and you can just see my white privilege just fall away, just like evaporate. So I can't say that I feel comfortable 100% of the time, but as far as my personal life goes, yes, I do feel comfortable and supported.
Would you do anything to change it, to make people to see Judaism differently?
So I have this friend, Matthew Finkelstein, you may know him.
Yes.
Who is very adamant about having a visual, physical Jewish presence in order to educate people that we're here, we exist. And because of him, I'm wearing my Star of David on a regular basis, where there was a time in my life where I actually hid it away and didn't wear it because as a teenager, I was actually attacked by a skinhead. He saw the star on my neck, and he ripped off his shirt, and he had this giant swastika tattooed on him, and he reached in the car and grabbed me. But luckily the driver realized what was going on, and she stepped on the gas, so I got away, and I was not hurt. But I was 16 when that happened, and I never forgot it. There was a time where I just didn't feel safe wearing my star. Now I'm, thanks to Matthew, I'm borrowing Matthew's courage, and now I'm making a point of if it's not the star, it's the chai. Every day when I'm out, you know, they say that white Jews have white privilege, but we see lots of evidence when that's not the case. And that was a really good example. And my mom is, you know, she is fearful for my safety as well. And there have been times when she's asked me, you know, just put it away, just put it in your jewelry box, let things cool down, you know. And now she's like, I'm sending you your grandmother's chai, I'm sending you your grandmother's star, I'm sending you your grandfather's mezuzah. So now it's all coming to me.
Wow.
So,
where is that necklace from?
This one actually is from eBay. I just got this. This was my Hanukkah present from my husband because I grew up in Albuquerque and I wanted turquoise and silver. And it says on the back that it's made in Israel.
Have you ever been to Israel before?
I have not, no. When I was a teenager, I wanted to travel the world. And I told my mom I wanted to go to Israel, and she's like, no, it's too dangerous, you're not going. And now, you know, financially, I don't know that I'm going to have the ability to make it. I do know that I have family there that I've never met that live in Haifa. I made it to Guatemala twice, and that is the extent of my travel.
Would you like to add anything?
I just want to say that I don't understand anti-Semitism, I don't understand racism, and I don't understand hate. And I don't think I'll ever be able to understand. Thank you for what you're doing, because I can see that you're part of, you know, educating the world. And thank you for that.